Yo, 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 it's your boys, NEO Wrestling, and we are back. It's been a minute. A lot has happened. But yet again, it's your boy, NeekCinco, and my boy, E Money,
E
here.
Money, what's good, y'all?
Back to talk some wrestling with y'all. Quick recap of what's been going on since we left. Lackluster Wrestlepalooza. The Care won the women's title. Seth and Cody was putting on some good promos leading into Crown Jewel. They put on a good match. Seth got injured. Vision jumped Seth out. Cena beats Cena and Styles had a match. What else was going on? Ilya returned, won the U.S. title. Jade turned heel, won the WWE title. Punk won the World Heavyweight title. We had Drew and Logan joining for the War Games. Roman, doing his 90th return of the year for the War Games. Brock joining the team. Cena winning the IC title, which I think I called on video. So the Kabuki Warriors winning. People like Dolph Ziggler and Zack Ryder showing up. Maxine winning the IC title. Liv returning recently. A masked man wrecking horror all over the place right now. a really good Brown Breaker promo. And Gunther winning the Time Is Now tournament. So there's a lot to unpack. We're not touching it all, but we'll touch a bunch of it. So, yeah, anything you want to touch that I just went through right there, or should we just get into it?
Well, we're gonna hop into Survivor Series in just a second, but after thinking or after hearing that list back, one of the things that sticks with me that is going a bit under the radar is Bronson Reed was the first man to pin Roman Reigns one on one since Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 40, and they're not doing anything. Like you would like this, of course, can come up at a later time. My thought is you would just think that they would be making an enormous deal about somebody beating Roman Reigns clean like that. Um, Again, not that it can't come up later. I've just been surprised how much they've kind of underplayed that. Obviously, Braun Breaker should be the focus of the vision and the like world title kind of story moving forward. That's been a little shaky in itself in recent weeks of as they've been reassembling the vision. But yeah, that's just kind of the biggest thing that pops out for me of that list of Bronson Reed has done the unthinkable, and people aren't really talking about it like he did.
I mean, he's always the destroyer in the situation because, as we just seen yesterday, he just destroyed our boy, well, my boy, LA Knight, and sent him home for a while. Whether it's off to a AEW as the internet thinks, or a just time off until like the Royal Rumble or something like that, which I can see being the case. Uh, Maybe we're approaching that time that Triple H was talking about, where he was all patience. This is gonna be a good thing for those who wait. Blah 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 blah. So I'm just gonna be optimistic, but if it ain't the Royal Rumble and it ain't him winning it, I'm gonna lose all hope after that. Honestly, I'm gonna still like LA Knight, but I'm gonna lose all hope for anything crazy for him in the future.
Do you think LA Knight is winning the Royal Rumble?
I know it ain't Jey Uso. I'll tell you that. Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Do you think he's full time back in the tag team division?
No.
Yeah, you think this is temporary,
For
right?
for for as much for as much as I desperately would like it to be the case, I do not trust that he is going to stay a tag team wrestler.
His promo went from here, here, overnight, basically. It's crazy how he gets near his brother and his promo game just changes up like that. What?
Not gonna lie, Neek, I'm at a point with Jey Uso that I I just need a break.
I understand.
I'm like I'm at the point where I hear his music and
You're doing what I'm
brother, what
doing.
do you want? What do you want?
You're me when I
And
had Sami
and,
Zayn fatigue.
and then I over the past couple months have started to watch um all of the weekly TV on like a 20 to 30 minute delay so I can skip through stuff. One of the main things is skipping through all the yeeting, all the no, I'm skip.
Nah, yeah, guys can't tell. He hates when he runs it back and stuff like
I am
that.
all set.
Hates.
I'm all set.
I still find a little bit of joy in it. I'm still like, yo, you're doing it too much, but I still find the humor in it. But he hates it. But you know, what I do find interesting, and then we can start going into what we're really talking about, is they're packing the tag team division right now. Even on the women's side, if you look at it, all their big players are in the tag team division. They've even swerved to live into the tag team division as of right now, which is more a story plot than it is actually having it in the tag team division. But we're gonna take that for now. But I find that really interesting that they're kind of draining their solo like stars, especially like in the lackluster women's division. But I have a reason why it makes sense though. It's because Stephanie Vaquer is going to fight a bunch of other people who are not as qualified as the people who are in the tag team division right now, so she can get her little runs up with her title run until one of those people come across her and take that title. So
Yeah, that's the main story of the women's division right now. And I'm actually really enjoying it. Eh, I don't think it's perfect. I think as you're saying, like they're doing to Stephanie right now. Some like one of the things that I didn't enjoy too much about what they were doing with Gunther's first World Heavyweight Championship run, where all the biggest stars were not paying him any attention at all. And he was feuding with a bunch of second tier stars, which is fine. Obviously, you can't face like you can't make the like biggest matchups possible for every second of the entire year, which is fine. Um, but it is starting to again feel like the world champion is being overshadowed in a number of ways, which I just as a fan, uh, I guess I guess I would say I'm sensitive to it, like just in the sense of like it just doesn't align with kind of what I would hope for in an ideal circumstance. But um, Ra- uh, Raquel has come up as Stephanie's new opponent, which I know is jumping way,
which is
way
not
ahead.
out of nowhere though, because she did kind of position this like 2-3 weeks ago.
Yes, and so I actually do really like the prospect of that. I think her and Raquel could definitely have a couple matches over the next little bit, and I would be happy with that. And obviously, that plays directly into Live and all the Judgment Day stuff. So there definitely is some possibility for some good storytelling and some good matchups coming up soon for Stephanie.
Bro, when Nikki Bella's music hit yesterday, I don't even dislike her or nothing, but I groaned so much. I was like, oh
Yeah,
no.
I I did. Yeah, I did too. I'm not gonna lie.
and then Raquel came out and I was like, yes.
Yeah, that's the biggest that I've ever popped for
but
Raquel, definitely.
I like your comparison to the Gunther run, but I also feel like it's a little better because maybe they learned their lesson. Because with this run, at least the people who are not paying attention to her right now are more preoccupied. Because like people like Rhea and Liv have all like acknowledged her presence and that they want it, but they're just all somewhere else right now
You're
for
right.
whatever reason.
Yeah.
So they're handling it a little better, where it's not just out there just handling the nobodies. If you're really paying attention, you can see why they're doing what they're doing. But E, why don't you take us on into what we're actually talking about today?
Okay, so first we're gonna go over a bit of the groundbreaking, epic. What are all those buzzwords that Triple H likes to say? Epic, mind, mind,
Dynamic.
mind, mind melting, historic. The 41,000 highest gate in the history of the universe Survivor Series.
Are you ready?
Um, so we're gonna go over Survivor Series a little bit. Obviously, a good amount has happened since then, but uh, this is supposed to be one of the biggest shows of the year.
It was record
Um,
breaking.
I I guess I before we get into the matches, I would like to throw it back to you, Nico, and say, does Survivor Series still feel like one of the big four, big five, whatever they call it? Because I'm feeling
Like,
like no.
I'll say this, like, feeling wise, not really, but I do like still get that like, oh, it's war games time feeling. So I can't say that it's lackluster. It's just not to expect like the sun and the moon when you're hearing the war games coming up. That something funky is probably gonna happen. Uh, Honestly, I'd like to just talk about the match. I was very disappointed that like Roman came out and like within 4 to 5 minutes of Roman coming out, the match was over. I was very disappointed in that.
Mhm.
Very disappointed in that. They barely even put up a fight once the war games started. Uh, I did like the moments at the end with the whole kind of like playing off Cody, showing his acknowledgement to CM Punk and shit. Like and them doing the fist bump and CM Punk sneaking in his Z-Bros and stuff like that, probably. But
Yeah,
and then him leaving them with the thought of like whose title he was coming after again. So I like what it lines up, but I just didn't like how the match played out. Really, I think the woman had a better match again, but that's kind of normal these days.
very normal these days because you jumped in talking about the men's match first. I'm happy to start there. Um, I also just felt like I feel like my expectations this year were very, very tame. Um, I I I don't always necessarily feel like the like stunts and the like moves in this match like need to be a like 10 out of 10, like this is like a like Hardy like TLC match from back in the day. But both of the matches, just with what was actually happening in the ring, just felt so safe, which is a good thing. Obviously, like we
This
want our performers to stay safe, but the whole point of the match is that this is supposed to be a like faction warfare match, like where the teams
your
need to
bodies are
be
on the
held
line.
by a cage. um Obviously, there's the unavoidable comparison to the AEW blood and guts matches. Um, I did watch both of those, like as they were happening at the time, and obviously WWE is a different product. Like it doesn't need to look like that. But if WWE prides itself on being the storytelling brand, um, then I need you to like have a little bit more story development actually happening in the match. I don't need everybody bleeding. Um, but if you positioned during your TV time that the story of the babyface men's match is that Cody, Roman, and Punk are all vying for basically the like top spot and whose team it is, and the only thing that you do in the match to show that is like there was one moment early where like Cody like accidentally like elbowed Punk. It's like, oh, all right, like there it is. And I kind of got excited at that moment because I was like, if they're gonna do that throughout the entire match, then that could be interesting. But they didn't. They didn't. Like they all worked fine. They obviously lost, but like there were no like real interpersonal stuff there going on. So then you say, all right, well, then is something really large and significant going to happen at least at the end of the match? And it like
It kind of
the
does.
idea of what happened kind of did it, but it's like Roman. So the like big payoff for the past month or whatever of TV and this match is Roman going, Cody, I don't want to team with you no more. Huh?
you you
Can
took it
you
at
at
the last
least
time we're
like
ever teaming
can you
together.
at least have Roman like go attack Cody or like at least like slap Cody, like do something. Don't just, Cody, this is the last time we ever team. Mean mug.
Taking my ball and going home. Hey, I don't know, man.
So
That's what they did. That's what they did. So I feel like both the matches were lackluster in the department of like having drama. Like they had this whole drama with Charlotte and Rhea, and like they barely like played into that. They had a whole villain team that was way more put together again than the face team. Like when they spit the mist in Last Legend's eyes, I found it amazing that the villains all came together to be like, "Oh my God, are you okay?"
yeah.
I was like, "What is this? This is not villainy at all." But like, it's funny, but I'll take it. And I felt like I went with the villains winning because I felt like that made all the storylines that much more interesting. Um, I feel like with what's going on with Asuka and Kyrie, the tag titles look a little weird because the tag champions are kind of just getting beat up, or and the only time they're looking successful is when they're running in on somebody and jumping them right now. So
They keep losing. Yeah.
yeah, they're just interfering in matches, and that's when they look dominant when they're interfering in matches or catching somebody backstage. Uh, so with the men's, it also basically did the same thing. It didn't really push any of the storylines that could have possibly happened in this match. And you know what
Right.
really hurt? The lack of the cage.
Tell me.
The lack of the cage. Them walking out and doing their entrances hurt this kind of environment, even though it
Yeah.
still needed a story plot, like more involved. But I feel like the
And so
biggest thing
two
I feel like the biggest thing we
sorry,
were
do you
robbed of, real quick, is it's CM Punk's team this year. He easily could have got his get back for when Roman last year put his hand out and stopped him from getting out the cage. They easily had that in their hands. It was right there.
well actually it was supposed to be Cody's team, right? Like which was the whole thing, but
Come on, man. That was
um
not Cody's team. Cody was literally like the last dude added to the team. There's no way it's his team.
I know. um I was very disappointed about them not having the shark cages too. But then I like saw someone else like say this on the timeline after, and it's like, oh, like like they can do all that stuff in the actual match too. Like they don't need to like do that in the cage. And I was like, oh, like yeah, you're right. Like
No,
you're
you're right. It
right.
can play out, but it didn't. But the
Like
cage,
why didn't
like,
you do it? Like why didn't you do any of that in the act when they were in the actual
but
match
the
together? They don't need to
cage
be in.
forces the issue though in a natural way. It forces the issue in a natural way. Like they're in that cage, the tempers intentions is gonna be up, and it's gonna force them to act a certain way while they're in there, just like it did last year. So that's why the cages are necessary, just like it is in the elimination chamber. It'd be so much weirder if they all just stood outside the ring and they all just like ran in little by little. Like, so that's why I feel like it makes sense for the cages, just to build that animosity, especially when you have people who don't really want to work together, working together. That tension.
Yeah, I mean, I like the shark cages, and I do wish that they were there, and but also there are ways around them not being there too that they just didn't do.
Yeah, yeah. No, they definitely could have worked it, but it didn't. So that's how I feel about those War Games matches. I was kind of mad that the spot didn't go to Logan. It was Cody. Like he did that crossbody off the top of the cage,
Where?
like when he came in the ring.
Oh, yeah, oh,
And I was like,
yeah.
that's the only spot they did really, other than Roman getting his ass beat the moment he got there because Brock Lesnar stepped outside before War Games actually I don't know. Weird outcome, man. Weird outcome. All this ass whooping Roman's been doing to Brock just to catch two F5s like right away.
Yeah. Well, this was I was not watching during this time, but I know that they main evented two, definitely two, maybe three wrestle. Like I don't know exactly how many it was,
That
but
was the
this
poll
like
of them both
this
being in the war games. That they were in the war games, realistically. Other than the here the teams being like the Avengers versus the Avengers, like, uh, and our boy Jimmy was there. I don't even know what Jimmy did in that match. Honestly, I forget what
Jimmy
Jimmy was doing.
Jimmy officially was in the match. Yes. Did he do anything in the match? No, but he was in the match. Yes.
Yeah, Jimmy was there. Um, could have been my boy LA
And
Knight. Cough,
for
cough.
the
But I
for
get
the
why it's
love of
Usos.
for the love of God, this is supposed to be war, and we're sitting here.
I felt like they had, yeah, they felt like they had to do it because he didn't get his entrance. Because he didn't get his actual entrance, right? He got the ramp entrance this time.
There is there is a lot in professional wrestling that I am able to just look past and just go with the story. But if you're telling me that this is supposed to be war games and this is supposed to be a a, a brutal, cutthroat, blood feud type match, and you got a dance break in the mid,
Everybody was laid
can't do
out.
it.
Everybody was laid out though. They had a moment. But let me ask you this. So what's worse? The Yeats in the middle of the match or El Grande Americano?
I'm gonna say the Yeet because Jay is in the main event.
Okay.
And Jay is interacting with the people that are actually important.
Okay.
Do you know what you know what I really want? I really wanted Braun or someone to climb up there and just throw him off. That
He was
that
rocking
would have
the hell
made the
out.
spot that would have made the spot worth it to me.
Yo, he expended all his energy before he even got to fighting. Definitely did. But we can move on. What's next? What else happened at Survivor Series?
We had the goat John Cena uh, defend his Intercontinental Championship against Dominic Mysterio.
And a whole bunch of
I
help.
felt like this was um, a wonderful match. Truthfully, this was I think exactly what the best case scenario for like one of the best case scenarios for this match could have looked like this match to me was very clear of Cena wins the belt in Boston and has that amazing moment in Boston and like that was the beginning of a story where Cena was then going to give the belt back to Dom and to give Dom an even bigger moment. So um I was fully expecting Dom to come out victorious in this. I think Dom using such a current event of pretending to do the real Penta injury spot was fantastic. We all in the room were like did believe it at first, and obviously as the camera continued to watch Dom, and the ref was doing very theatrical things, then we were like, oh, like all right, like this is what it is. But that was amazing work by Dom. Um,
The ref
to
all interfering and being like, "Nah, man, no, you just faked an injury." It was like chef's kiss
the
right there.
ref the ref refusing to count was awesome.
That was chef's
Um,
kiss. Not gonna lie.
and it ultimately leads to the return of Liv Morgan, um, which was definitely ahead of schedule for what most people expected. Very very happy to see her. Um, she uh, pulls a bit of a surprise and slaps Dom, and then goes and jumps in Cena's arms. Cena, you can very clearly see he's like, "What the hell is going on?" um, and then she does the Cena elimination chamber face drop, and kick in the nether regions,
The Nethers.
to 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 help Dominic to defeat the greatest of all time and get his championship back. Um, Dominic is a character right now that, what, even though he is a like genuine like good quality wrestler, he has turned the like the Eddie Guerrero, I'm going to find all these creative ways to cheat and win matches that I shouldn't win. He has really come into his own, where I feel like at this point it doesn't just feel like Eddie tributes anymore. Like this truly feels to me like this is like this is now Dom's character, and like these are now Dom moves that he's pulling, not just Eddie moves. Um,
Hmm.
and so Dominic walks out with with the two belts and his girl back on his side. He was on the
I'm
ramp
glad to hear that.
looking amazing. And I truly feel like this little program that he did with Cena did truly help him to elevate to like the next step of becoming an even bigger star.
Boy, nah, you're right. This was definitely a good program for Dom. Uh, yeah, I enjoyed the match. It was definitely a solid match. John Cena had to go through the gauntlet because everybody came out on him, bro. Like Finn,
Yeah.
JD came out on him. He got beat up by Raquel and Roxanne and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then Liv came out to give him the sweet revenge from when he came out and took the championship. So, it was solid all around. And to pivot to Liv, I've enjoyed everything they're doing with Liv right now. I enjoyed the angle that they took the first week that she came back when she put the tag titles in Raquel and Roxanne's hands to give Roxanne like the nod of approval. And I like what they're doing right now to flash forward out of Survivor Series. What they're doing with Raquel being assertive about going for the women's title, even though Liv kind of put it out there that they were all going for certain things. And Liv just kind of like, falling back for the moment and just taking in Roxanne. So I like how she's been here. Even in the brawl, when they came in and they just stood tall, I was like, I like this. I like all of this about what Liv's comeback is. But the only
Me
thing I
too.
don't like
Yeah.
about it is that Judgment Day is still here. But the cracks are
No.
crackling even more. The cracks are crackling even more at this moment. So
I don't. Yeah,
when are they gonna go? When are they gonna die?
I'm not getting my.
When are they gonna take this group out back and just be like,
Hopefully, at some point next year.
I shouldn't have said the first one. I might have to blank that out. But
Yeah.
yeah, but like I said, everything else I liked about what they're doing with Liv. And Cena, man, he did a great. He didn't have to do much though. I'm not gonna lie. This is not like Cena was really putting over Dom. This is just Dom putting on a good show with an all-time great, with the great. So it's not like
And
John wasn't even around when Don was doing promos after for one of them. So Don just
yeah,
handled his own.
I do think that like he made the group like not only Dom, but like made the group look better. Um, does does Finn and JD specifically look better, even though they got the double FU? Not necessarily, but um, I I do feel like it did um, elevate Roxanne and Raquel like a little bit by just their involvement in this match too.
So I will say the one another downer to this is with them announcing the tournament and then after announcing the tournament and us getting in like a round or two into it, John winning the IC title and it seemingly looking like the tournament was gonna end with an IC title winner for the belt. I was kind of disappointed when it became that we knew John was gonna lose that title to Dom because I was like, damn, now the tournament is literally just facing John Cena in his retirement match, where the title would have made it so much cooler. But with it,
That's that's the prize.
yeah, for a fanboy, like like that's not the. It's cool, but like that's
Having
the
having one of the most accomplished stars
yes,
last match isn't a
I get
prize.
the sympathetic reasons for it, but like the title is like actually like something that this person can take with them, like something that's
But we knew
tangible.
but we knew that
This
it was
is
gonna be
just like
Gunther
a,
the whole
it's
time, right?
literally just a bragging rights match. It's like the same as Crown Jewel.
But we knew that this tournament was gonna be for Gunther, right? Like
Yes, but and that's what I was
let's be
getting to say is that once we knew it was going to be Gunther, it makes sense why it's not for the title because he doesn't need
right,
that. So it
right.
makes sense why it goes back to Dominic Mysterio at the end of the day, and that's what I was saying. It was like the one down because it's like, damn, that would have been nice. But like when you know Gunther is going to be the winner, it's like he done that already. Like he can't do nothing more for that title than what he's done already for that title. So let's just give it to somebody else. But other than that, solid match. Uh, that's all I got for it now.
To close out Survivor Series, Stephanie and Nikki had a match. It was fine.
Yeah, it was fine. It was fine.
Uh,
Obviously, Stephanie
it's
won. We don't have to tell you that. I don't think.
it
You
it
can look,
certainly was
but
not
you
helped
can't
by
do.
this being a four match card. If there would have been one or two other matches, and maybe this would have felt a bit better. But this being sandwiched in between John Cena's final PLE match with a Liv Morgan return and people waiting for the men's War Games match certainly did not help the situation for a feud that didn't exactly have a lot of heat coming into it.
I feel like this card was had good potential, but the show ended up being barely better than WrestlePalooza. So, and
I
on to the
agree.
next. What's next?
Next, we were gonna go over a bit of the last time is now tournament, as that's been one of the big through lines through our weekly TV shows over the past number of weeks. So first, I'll start with: Are you happy with the winner?
um, I'm not disappointed because I think like the whole like I think Gunther is a proper person to end John Cena, but I feel like it wasn't going to my boy LA Knight, so at least it didn't go to Jey Uso either. So Gunther, I'm fine with it. I liked how it turned out because everybody was moaning and groaning like, please don't let it be Jey Uso and Gunther in the finals, and we luckily didn't
You're
get that.
absolutely right.
We luckily didn't get that. We got LA Knight and Gunther in the finals. But honestly, we saw a lot of good matches in that. I can't really pop them up off the top of my head, but like all I know is like every
Did
match
we?
for this they were pretty solid matches. You were not entertained at all?
Did we?
Eric, you're just tough to entertain these days, I think, bro. I don't think the
Oh,
matches were bad. Like we had things like the Rusev matches were pretty good matches. The few he had, Sheamus had a decent match until he was a hurt. The J matches were not horrible during the tournament either. And LA Knight was in there. He ain't putting on whack matches. Gunther was in there, and he had all the best matches, basically, probably. Like he's in there with Devon Evans in the first round. So there were good matches in that tournament. Like, I'm not disappointed in this tournament.
I I wish that even though it felt very clear like from before the tournament even started, obviously with the reports from Dave Meltzer, even with however much you want to trust him or not, which I don't recommend. But whatever. There was a lot of assumption coming in that this was just going to be Gunther running through everyone, which is fine, and I actually agree with I think this is a correct choice. I just wish that with some of the other matches that there were some matchups that made me believe like, oh, maybe this other person could win when we get down to a final four, and I'm looking at Gunther, LA Knight, who has been getting dog walked for months, Jay Uso, God help us all if that would have happened, and Solo Sokoa. And I said,
They put on a great match though. Like what?
with yes, yes, they did.
Yo, him and
But
Gunther and Solo put on an amazing match.
but do do any of those three other people have any chance of being
So
John
I'll
Cena's
say
last
this:
opponent?
this match did make Solo look way better in my eyes, and Solo already has a W over John Cena, so that's why I didn't have a problem with it because I was like, Solo been there, done that. What do you mean? He did this already.
And you have the Sheamus injury, and you say, all right, here comes this new opponent, and you put in someone that's already been in the tournament. Like, I get like it was this cute little thing for the Miz, but like
Yeah, because
you couldn't
they
have
were
like
not into the respectfulness that like he is one of John Cena's like main rivals, but like if he wasn't getting to the end, why put him back in, right? Like,
he was already if he hadn't already been in the
no, that's what I'm
tournament,
saying.
then
He was
yes,
why put him
that's
back in?
perfect.
Like he was already in there. I knew he was in
But
there.
what are you doing?
They didn't know
Put
who else to put in
put
there.
somebody else.
Ooh, Eric or Ivar or something like that.
Somebody else that has history with Cena, doesn't have it. Somebody else that hasn't been in. That
Otis,
doesn't make any sense.
we're calling your name today, Otis, out there today.
That would make more sense than somebody that has already lost in the tournament.
I was fine with it, but I see that rubbed you very wrong, so it's okay. But yeah, last time now was tournament was
Or
cool.
isn't the entire isn't the entire purpose, if you're trying to honor what John is saying and what John wants, is he has been very clear over this past over the end of this run, in that he is trying to showcase and that he is trying to do what he can to elevate new talent so that people become fans and become excited of watching the new people and the people that are going to be on the next shows after he's gone. And they did have Javon in the first round, and that match was amazing. Um, and Carmelo was in, and he did win a round via interference.
Did he have a Gunther
And
match?
yes, and
And
he
that
had
was
a
a good
very
match
good match
too.
with, and he had a good match with Gunther. But the rest of the card,
Eric, we're naming a lot of matches that we liked in this tournament for you to be looking like, oh, did they have a lot of good matches? We named like 5 to 6 good matches right there in the little bit of time that we've been
I
talking now.
said, no. I said I loved the Javon match. I really liked the Carmelo match. The solo match was very good, but like I didn't feel it. Like, there's no chance that Solo's winning that match.
I don't care about that. Like I'm talking about were there good matches, not the fact that you know who's gonna win. But I'll talk on your topic of talking about signing on the the newer talent. They also did it with the slightly older but newer guys like LA Knight and Solo Sokoa, because as we bring in people like Dolph Ziggler and Zack Ryder to have their show, this was WWE like not necessarily burying the character, but putting over the new generation by having them defeat those like kind of not big names, but bigger guys who people wanted to see more from at that time. Almost like putting a hatchet in the ghost of those characters. So they accomplished it in that way too by putting over the new generation. Like these are the new guys that you guys should be cheering for, and not Dolph Ziggler, not Zack Ryder, and stuff like that. Because obviously that was like a one time thing. I don't think those guys are going to be coming back to reprise their role as those characters anytime soon.
Yeah, I don't either.
So I feel like it accomplished a lot of the things that it set out to do. Maybe not in ways that pleased you, but like it was doing those things. It put over this new era of wrestling in its own ways. Maybe not to the moon or nothing like that. We saw a handful of good matches. Not everyone could be good. Not everyone could be ideal matchups, but we knew from the get go it was Gunther. Like, who else do you put in this tournament to actually make it look like it's not going to be Gunther without putting a main eventer in the tournament beside Gunther?
I mean, it would have been nice for like Drew McIntyre to be in the tournament,
He's tied up in war games and stuff. That's
but
the
the
whole
but
thing.
but the matches started before War Games.
Yes, but they're pre-planning a lot of this.
Jay is in the tournament. Jay is in the tournament. He was
Oh
in
yeah,
War
yeah,
Games.
you're
Bronson
right.
Reed
You're
was in the
right.
tournament. He was in War Games.
You're right. You're right. Well, I don't know. They just didn't want to put too many big names in there because they don't want to make it look like they kind of wanted to make it obvious. I think because everybody knew. Everybody knew.
They wanted to make it
Think
obvious.
about it.
Good,
Everybody
good
knew it
job.
was gonna be Gunther before they even announced the tournament. Like we've been saying, Gunther was gonna be his retirement match like a month into his tour. So they just put the obvious out there, and it's gonna be sweet when that Symphony Number 9 spoils all those little kids' day in the ring, because you know they're probably gonna have a lot of little kids around the ringside.
Yeah, there's a good chance.
Their days are gonna be ruined, and I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna be a villain
I
that day.
think with all that being said, I am happy with Gunther as the last match. My criticism of this is not with him winning or with him being seen as last opponent. I just wish that the rest of the road would have felt a little more exciting.
I feel bad that John's final day at work is gonna be him having to take an ass.
I feel like that's what he would want.
Yeah, but this is gonna be tough. Like it's luckily they kind of toned Gunther down because he don't be out here spamming his specials no more. He just hits you with like one or two and that's it. Like John's lucky he don't got to deal with the 5 power bombs and like 2 clotheslines and a sleeper.
Mm,
You might
He
have
might.
to, right? Like exactly.
He might.
And that's why I feel
He
bad for,
might.
and that's why I feel bad for him because I was like, you might be a 5 power bombs, 2 clotheslines, and a sleeper kind of guy, though. Like so.
So as we transition into that, we seemingly have the full card for Saturday night's main event, the final night of John Cena's in ring career. Before we get to that main event, we have Bailey versus Sol Ruka. Snaps amazing match. We have Javon Evans and Leon Slater versus AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. Amazing match. And then we have Cody Rhodes versus the Ruler, the NXT champion Obafemi.
That's
And
the best sounding match of the night right there.
oh, I am battling myself so badly because do I want nothing more in this world than for Obafemi to beat, and especially because this is an exhibition match and this is not for the championship. You cannot ask for a better scenario than to welcome Obafemi to the main roster by having him beat Cody Rhodes clean.
Maybe it won't be. No,
Now,
I think it wouldn't be clean if he wins.
do I expect Paul to do that? No, I do not.
Yeah, if
Because
Obo wins, it's not gonna be clean. It's gonna be something like Drew
there have been
McIntyre
plenty of
2.0.
things this entire year where I've thought, oh, this is an amazing opportunity to put over this young person or do
Not on Cody
something
Rhodes' watch. No way.
or do something
What?
interesting regarding Cody Rhodes. And it's no. We we were watching the last Saturday night's main event together, watching the Cody versus Drew match, and I was literally sitting there saying, I dare you to let Drew win."
Yeah, but that's not gonna happen when they're with their golden boy right now, where he loses to a new up and comer. Like if it was John Cena, yeah, John Cena's taking that out. He's on his way out. But Cody ain't losing to Oba clean. At least if he loses, it's probably gonna be Drew McIntyre to bring their feud to their final match, and Cody's gonna have more fuel to hate Drew because of that, and that'll be the outcome. And Oba will win, and I'll be glad with that, honestly. Because when Cody eats that power bomb, ooh, I'm gonna erupt.
If 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 Drew interferes and Oba wins, cool. Like I am. It's not all the way like I want, but I'm cool with that.
And that sets up
What I
Oba
really
to
do,
look at Drew funny too. So like, imagine Oba Femi and Drew
yes,
McIntyre. Oh my
yeah,
god!
amazing. Yes. What I what I really don't want is for
What?
Drew to interfere and then it goes to a no contest.
Yeah, mm, that's highly likely to be the case though. Like it'll probably be getting really close to where you're like, oh, a winner's about to be decided, and then that's what happens because WWE likes that card. They love that card, especially
They sure
to
do.
protect the Cody Rhodes. Yeah, yeah. To make Obafemi look really good, but to protect Cody Rhodes, that's the perfect card to pull right there. Drew causes a no contest. There you go.
And this is this is the battle that I've been having over the past week of my head is thinking of all the ways that Triple H can make this
But it's the safest
can
way for everybody.
can
Obafemi's gonna look great.
can
Cody doesn't
step
look
on my
bad.
fire and my heart saying, let him win. It's an exhibition.
But you know what it is? It's just the most optimal outcome because look at all the things it accomplishes. It makes Oba look good because he gets to look dominant against the champion, but the champion doesn't lose. The champion doesn't look bad, and then Drew McIntyre gets to look good also because he's being a dastardly villain, which ignites a feud that we all want to see, and it's going to be in his final match. So it accomplishes a lot, but it's not necessarily the most exciting outcome to come across.
Babyface champions need need challenges and need heels that can push them and can legitimately be threats. The challenge and the disappointment, what some people call boring about Cody Rhodes's reign as champion, is that there hasn't been people that feel like legitimate threats to him. I was so excited about Drew at the top of the year because I was like, Drew will can be a legitimate threat where they can pop the title back and forth like a little bit or just once, and they've completely squashed that with Drew. Um,
Yeah, I
but
feel that way. But it's still
let
possible. But
but
I'm feeling pretty down about it too.
this 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 is a perfect opportunity to make an immediate real threat of of Cody. Cody can beat Drew 700 more times. He can beat whoever, but he knows in the back of his mind when I see Obafemi, that's for real.
Yeah, and that's why I feel like the outcome that I presented does it accomplishes that. It allows Owen to look intimidating, look strong, look like he can beat Cody Rhodes. but Drew took that opportunity away, and so
No,
Cody
but
doesn't look
no,
good.
but I I don't want Cody to think Obafemi can beat him. I want Cody Rhodes to know Obafemi can beat him. But
You're probably not getting that.
that
So,
that's me.
what else
That's
is
me.
on this card? So Ruka Bailey, that's a cool match. It's not that great, but it's gonna be fun to watch. Especially with this split personality Bailey being around right now. You think Bailey wins this? Because
I
I think
think
I got Soul
that's
Ruka winning that.
no,
Actually,
I
no.
very clearly have
Let's
Soul
hold
winning.
this because we got to do that for the TikTok, man. We got to save that for the TikTok.
All right.
Yeah, we're gonna say that you got one prediction out of us. You got my prediction for that match, and that's it. That's all you're getting. Other than Gunther John Cena, because who the heck? Honestly, like John Cena winning that match would be nice, but Gunther winning that match would be a lot
I I feel like Gunther's winning. I mean, John uh John is very old school. Like in like people leave and people go out on their back. I feel like he would probably be adamant about wanting to lose. Um,
better. So I will say this, even though I'm looking forward to Gunther winning, I would have loved to see somebody else who wasn't Jey Uso or Gunther be in this position. Um, that's because this is almost like Brock Lesnar beating the Undertaker. Like it doesn't need to happen for this person, and Gunther doesn't need this. Realistically, it's good for Gunther, but he's kind of established already. Like he doesn't need this to cement who he is as a character. But it's gonna be nice for him to say when he's like another 10 years in and getting ready to leave or something like that. So I'm okay with it.
yeah, I agree that he doesn't need it, but I do think that assuming that they follow up with it in the right way, which I know was a lot to ask. I I think this could really elevate Gunther going into WrestleMania season next year.
This is how you make people boo him if you want to make him a heel, like a top heel. Just how you make people boo him is take out the hero, man. It's kind of like that
Yeah,
Ehel Devil Kingo, with Triple A. He's like a heel, and he's not even meant to be a heel, but he is because the guy he beat for the title was like such a big character to them that they just boo him for beating that guy. So this could literally be Gunther's thing right here, as he beats John Cena, and now he's like the biggest heat magnet in the world for like a year. So let's see where that goes.
yeah,
But heat magnets, you say? Are we going to talk about Braun Breaker's promo? Probably wrap it up after that, or Braun Breaker's
yes.
path to the.
Tell me about it.
You want me to tell you about it? You can't. You want
Tell me.
me to tell you about Braun Breaker's promo and what it did to
I do.
me? I got so hype. You know how hype I am. That title ain't even CM Punk's title anymore. He's just holding it right now. Like he's just keeping it safe for Braun Breaker, so nothing happens to it. And when January 5th comes around, Braun Breaker is just gonna be like, "He's taking my title," and that's what's gonna happen, in a more violent way. But he's already your champion in my mind after that first promo. The second one, he had the energy, but it wasn't really cooking as much as the first one.
Yeah,
And I didn't
yeah.
expect him to match
Not
the
as
first
crisp.
one.
Yeah,
I didn't expect him to match the first one, so I'm okay with that. He was like shooting at like some like low below the belt shots, but he's a heel, so who cares? Uh, but that first promo, I'm so convinced. I'm so hooked. It's already his. They should already have his. Like next time we see CM Punk with the title, Braun Breaker's nameplate should be on the side already.
yeah,
Like he can hold it. Keep going. Got to January 5th.
yeah. I definitely felt similar. I uh, I was as excited as I've been in a while after that Braun Breaker promo. Uh, it it definitely is a matter of when, not if, for when he has that championship for real. Whether that's January 5th, which would be amazing if it does happen then, or whether it goes all the way until WrestleMania. There's certainly a like path for that as well. Um, but one of the things that I liked the most about this outside of him doing so well with that particular moment was that felt like it was recentering the vision is Braun Breaker's group. And this kind of looked differently this past Monday, where they were telling the like main story that they were telling on this past Raw was about Logan, um,
Which I
but
like. I like that
positioning,
angle that they took the other day.
yeah,
I like the angle that they take with Logan that like Bronson and Braun, they're not intimidated at all. They're not like threatened at all by Logan Paul. They're like, if he does act out of line, we just gonna snap him and move on. So I like the day when he was like, we got to go handle Rey Mysterio, even though they didn't really do nothing. They were like, okay, cool, fuck it, we gonna do it because they basically have if he wants our help because he needs us more than we need him, we're down to help and cause ruckus with him if he's down to cause ruckus with us as long as he stays in line. But the moment he gets out of line, we're gonna dump him and forget about him.
yeah,
So we're gonna
yeah.
do him dirty like we did Seth Rollins, and we're gonna forget about him. So, and I'm down for that ride until
Okay.
it happens. I thought it was gonna happen last night too.
Yeah. it was it was definitely
I
possible.
thought it was gonna happen.
Um, Before we close, I have two quick things that I would like to close. Oh, what? Whoa,
Why'd you do the
we got a party
balloon?
going on
The
on the screen.
balloon. We still got to talk about the
Um,
masked man briefly too.
yeah, so that was one. So the Masked Man, how did you feel about it in the moment? How do you feel about it now?
So I'm gonna talk about it right now because I smelt that second appearance coming. I have an eyewitness that I smelled that shit coming. When they came in the house, it was already after his first appearance, and I told him. And then when it started happening in the LA Knight Logan match, I was like, I don't know if y'all hear me sniffing, but I can smell the masked man afoot. And then Brown Breaker and Bronson Reed came out, and within 2 minutes they were getting kicked out. And now the masked man is about to make a second appearance today. I can just feel it in my bones. And within 3 minutes, the masked man ran out and stomped LA Knight on the table. And I was like, ooh, the masked man. I had a whole scheme going before the match. I was like, yo, you know what needs to happen? The masked man needs to come out, try to get LA Knight. And when he misses and tries to escape, LA Knight goes to grab for him, and the mask gets pulled off. And we see who it is.
That would have been nice.
But we didn't get that. And I'm okay with what we got. He dipped and dodged. Somebody pointed out that masked man wasn't built like the original masked man. I didn't catch that.
Definitely not.
I didn't even catch that.
Definitely.
But
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did.
um but yeah, it was cool. The masked man is interesting. I wonder if they're really gonna pull it as the angle that it's like the Seth Rollins being like
No, it cannot.
it
It
can't, right?
no,
Because
it can't
it's
be
not
Seth.
doing
It
nothing
can't
to
be
the.
Seth.
They're not doing anything to the
It can't
vision,
be
right?
Seth.
Like they're just letting Braun Breaker and them go clean, right? Like it can't be that.
Yeah, it can't be Seth.
It can't be a body. No,
Um,
but I'm saying not physically Seth, but like a body double until Seth is healthy. Like, like I can
no, but
see the possibility, but I don't think it's going that angle though.
like for the purpose of the story,
You think this
like
person is
they
like trying
can't.
to get in the vision?
That's what I thought. And initially,
Yeah,
they're
and
they're
now it
they're
don't seem
starting
that way,
they're like
right?
starting to blur the line now. That might not necessarily be the case.
I threw out a funny
Um,
one. I know it's far fetched, but I threw out a funny one yesterday. Imagine if it's Jake Paul.
you never know.
Because they're always
You.
They're always around
Yeah,
when
you never
Logan's
know for
around,
sure.
bro. Aren't they? They're always around when Logan's around, bro. When Braun and Breaker and
Yeah.
Bronson Reed weren't around yesterday, the Masked Man popped up both times.
Um, I will give my little shout, like one of the more popular theories. If you're not assuming that it's Austin Theory, is the possibility of Montez Ford, which I and many other people have been patiently, hopefully waiting one day for Montez Ford to do something outside of the Street Profits. If it did end up being Montez Ford, that would be very fun for me. If it's someone from NXT, that could definitely be interesting as well. If it's Austin Theory and you're making me wait multiple weeks, that's not the
Yeah,
way
I
that
had a
I would
couple people
handle
on
it.
my list too for that for who it could
Um,
be.
I will say I've been I was I I was fine with it happening. Like I was definitely surprised and like was fine with it like as a story point in the War Games match. It did kind of deflate the ending, but it wasn't just
It
because of that. I
wasn't.
will
Yeah, it wasn't the Masked Man's fault. Like the Masked Man was an interesting
yeah,
angle. It just was like the match just ended so fast. Like it
yeah.
after like
I will say when when they went to Raw following Survivor Series and like the Masked Man was mentioned but like wasn't really talked about, and now it's the second week and they're not unmasking. Uh, my interest is dropping very quickly because I'm thinking, oh no, like are they gonna drag this out until the Rumble?
I
And
think
at that
I
point,
think they
like
do it at the Netflix thing at longest. I think it's possibility they drag it out to the Rumble, but I think the more likely target if they do hold it out and not do it on a regular Raw, it'll be the Netflix anniversary, which is a month away. So you might have another 3 weeks of dealing with that. Uh, I think the Masked Man angle is fine right now. I don't want them really dragging the idea that it could be Seth Rollins. There is
yeah,
viability because Braun Breaker did look up and look like he saw a ghost when he saw this dude at War Games. Your Montez Ford thing is something that I agreed with on the first day. The second day, I didn't really agree with it. It didn't really give me Montez Ford vibes, but the first day, it definitely did. Um, a couple of the names I had on the list that are like these are just far fetched names. I don't think it's solidly them because Austin Theory is still at the top of my list. LA Knight was one until yesterday because he's obviously not it now. Trick Williams, Tony D. Uh,
I thought about Trick. I was like, if they pull the mask off and it's Trick, I would have been hyped. But
yeah, those would be the people that I could see it being, other than LA Knight, Montez Ford, Austin Theory. But like I said, Austin Theory is still at the top of my list. Uh, and then that wild
do
card is still that like with the way Bronson Reed looked up, like why would he have a reason to look up at anybody like that? Unless it was something like Oba Femi or Seth Rollins or something like that. Like,
I think I think just because they were so surprised that it was happening, and they're like,
yeah, but
"What?"
he
Like,
didn't look surprised. He looked like scared out of like not. He looked like how he looked that day when Roman returned. He ain't look surprised. He looked shook.
yeah. Do we want to mention the possibility at all that this is going to end up being Chris Jericho or no?
The internet says that, but I don't think it's Chris Jericho in the slightest. I think that would be a stupid angle to pull, honestly. Like, what would be the point? Like, like what would be the point? You put
I I agree because you don't need to present Chris Jericho's return in that way, but you know that he also like always tries to. He's like very big on like constantly trying new ideas and like I could see this being in the realm of possibility, like of him being like, "Oh yeah, like let's try that." Will I then retroactively think that 50 whatever year old Chris Jericho hopped in and hopped out of that cage? Like that's making me suspend my disbelief.
that's the same thing with
Uh
Seth Rollins. Like, I don't think he's scaling that cage that fast. LA
Right.
Knight maybe can get up and around that cage that fast. I feel like I've
I
seen
don't even
Austin
think
do
he
that.
could do that.
I think he can get up
I
a cage
think it
pretty
would have to
fast.
be like a super athlete like Austin Theory or like Montez Ford.
But Montez being on SmackDown is interesting, and I could also see a world where Montez is doing this now, but both of the Street Profits doing it. But then it would take like the tag thing away from Bronson and Braun Breaker, but they're not going for that anymore. Braun is going for a world heavyweight, and they'd probably have Bronson go for the IC title. Uh,
Yeah.
but I got a side note because I just talked about Montez being on SmackDown. Somebody brought it to my attention that they feel like Rhea Ripley is now going to SmackDown, and viability is only there because she's now technically in the tag division, and the tag division is kind of just doing whatever they feel like once you have the title. So it could be a possibility. And they think that because of that
I
vignette she did
mean,
with Damian Priest the other day.
she's gonna be on the next episode or
I think it comes
whatever
to that and
episode
that's it.
they
Yeah.
have that match with Priest, but she's not like yeah. I don't have any expectation that she's
And
gonna
I have
be
them
on
taking the
SmackDown.
titles off of the Kabuki Warriors. So like yeah, obviously she'll probably be up there when they beat the Kabuki Warriors and they're the tag champs. But I don't think Rhea Ripley is going to be a legit full time like SmackDown only superstar anytime soon. I think she needs some
Yeah,
new
yeah.
stuff
I
to
don't.
do. I think she needs some new stuff to do when she's a singles wrestler. And SmackDown would be a good move. But if they just keep shuffling wrestlers, then like it'll work out. So,
Yeah.
but anything else about the Masked Man? Anything else about anything?
Not about the mask band, but last thing that I wanted to talk about was we are still months away, but we are looking right now at the possibility of WrestleMania Night 2 main event being Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns 3. Thoughts, interests, good idea, bad idea.
I don't think it's a wrong time to do it. I just don't think it's the time to do it. I think maybe like next year or something. I think Roman should do other things and maybe have some adversity, some more adversity. Because I don't think he's beating Cody here, right? Like, would he beat Cody here? I think it would be almost weird to do a third time and Cody wins all three. Like, it'd almost be weird. It'll.
They're a 1-1.
Oh yeah, yeah. What am I talking about? Stupid me. Um, yeah, because Roman didn't get a rematch and lose after he lost, right?
No, he has not challenged for that since he
Yeah,
lost at
that's
WrestleMania
what I
4.
was. That's where my brain was going. I was thinking he. I know he lost the first WrestleMania match. I know that, but I had it in his head he had a rematch somewhere, but he didn't. So yeah, he's 1-1. I guess that makes it a little more reasonable, but I'm not excited for that. That in my personal, I'm not excited for Roman Cody 3 unless they're gonna make the story so good. Like I told you the other day, now that he's like been positioned himself in a certain way, I'm a little more interested in the whole idea of him going after the world heavyweight title. Even though at first I was very against that, just because it's more
Yeah.
interesting. It just seems more interesting for him to chase that. Even if he fails, it's more interesting for him to just go bother that person instead of Cody.
Yes, and in that
It'll
way,
be Braun Breaker soon.
who would who would you have face Cody if not Roman?
It's time to swerve. Randy's taking a break, I think, because we haven't seen Randy. I feel like in a couple of weeks, and maybe when he comes back, he's gonna do some things and be Cody's next opponent or something. Because they don't got much going
Can I
on
be
over there in
honest?
SmackDown.
Can I be honest?
Go ahead.
I think we ne- I think we need to let the Cody Randy WrestleMania match die.
We don't need that at WrestleMania. I don't need that at WrestleMania, but the match has got to happen though. Like,
Well, I mean, they like did have a match this year,
yeah, I know, but like
but
the actual like match, like the actual feud.
I think I think the idea of that being one of Cody's matches at WrestleMania doesn't
Yeah, but
seem
I
all
think the
that
feud,
likely to me
like I said, the
anymore.
feud still has to happen though. like it just gotta go. Like it should go down. Like there's no
I would
reason
like it
not to
to.
do it. And we probably shake things up. We probably see CM Punk and Cody again somewhere, somehow, some way. Uh, but that's all I really got
I
for
think
that.
for me, like I don't have a burning desire for Cody Roman 3 at the moment. Is is there a couple of paths like that could get me very excited pretty quickly? Yes.
What's the
Um
storytelling that can get you excited for that? 'Cause that's where it kind of misses me. Is like there was so much pent up for the first match, and then after the first match, there was just so much going on, and all the things leading up to it, where they were just having those little face offs every now and then when Cody was
yeah.
on Raw, and I was like, that felt big. They're so in a
Yeah.
certain place where they are now that it's like almost like a okay, Cody and Roman in the same area. Who cares? Type of thing. Where they have lost that aura, that taking the air out of the building when they're in the same place.
Yeah. So for me, something that's exciting for me, I don't know if this is the case for you, is the storytelling that's on the screen, but also like uh like what we think is the like reality of the situations like outside of the show too. And so I think that this this could all be fabricated. I think that there has to be at least some truth to this. Is that both Cody and Roman look at WWE right now and say, "This is my company." Um, and so if like they, I feel like a lot of the best storytelling in wrestling is when they find the way to correctly blur the lines in that like we're all following on and we're like yeah like this is storyline like was that storyline ooh like that like felt like a real jab like that like was like that or where's the character and where's Roman versus where's Joe, you know what I mean? So um if 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 Roman's character like wins the Rumble and then comes to Cody and it's like Cody like all right like I have given you a year plus. You and everyone else were so desperate to take that title away from me to take this company away from the bloodline. Uh, you got your wish, and look where we are. Are you happy with where we are right now? Because I don't feel happy with where we are. Like I don't think like a lot of people feel happy with where like we are, and like obviously that's a like very personal thing of like as a fan of like where you side, but then there will be very vocal and very passionate Cody fans, and this is Cody's company. And we already know that there are a lot of incredibly passionate Roman and Bloodline fans, and um, an interest and one and a behind the scenes interest in that match is I feel like that's the true dynamic between the two of them. So who actually wins that match, there's no way of having that match and and not interpreting that as the company saying this is the person that's correct.
Yeah, but we're also like
That
in a moving out
that
of
makes that
Roman
interesting
era.
to me.
We're also in an era where they're trying to signify that Cody is the moving forward. So we would kind of just be in a space where we like kind of realize that Cody's just going to win the match. It'd be cool to see. Like I guess like I just don't think it's going to have the gravity that it had in the last two. Uh, just because we've seen it, it's fun. I'd rather see Cody turn heel or something. Like I'd rather that be a storyline, like so bad than see Roman and Cody again. Uh, I think it should happen again. Just I'm not eager to see it.
Yeah, I feel uh I feel like I would prefer Braun and Roman as the matchup, especially with the history that they've created over the course of this year, and just stylistically, like that
I feel like once
that
January
feels
5th happens,
a
that's going
little
to be
bit
lined
more
up pretty soon. That match is going to happen pretty
possibly.
soon for that title, at least.
Um,
I'm pretty sure.
and so I think I think Braun and Roman for one title and Cody and Punk for the other one makes a little bit more sense. But I can roll with it the way that it is right now if that ends up being the
I
case.
wonder if Punk would be
I
down to go to SmackDown.
I yeah, I don't know.
Like, he'd be the
Probably. I
biggest
mean,
thing on that show.
maybe.
He'd be the biggest thing on that show, even if Cody's there. Like,
Well, that points to the Roman point that I was just talking about, right?
he wouldn't be the guy
Because
because Cody's there, but like, he'd be like the biggest attraction at that show.
it was like a point that Roman Reigns could make and say, Cody, look look what has happened to SmackDown since I left.
You've turned it.
You're the champion of
You've
you're
turned the
you're
WWE
the
title into
champion
the
of
little brother
SmackDown, right?
title. You've turned it into the
Look
little
at
brother.
look at SmackDown. Cody, look what you've done to SmackDown and look what you've done to my championship.
Yeah, like, we can see where it goes. I don't,
It's there.
like I said, not eager, but I'm down to see it if that's what they want to do. Um, go ahead. Wow, what do I care? Just give me some good wrestling, man. Give me some good wrestling. That's all I want. That's all I want. But I think that.
I want some good stories.
Do we got anything else going on, man? I think we kind of wrapping it up there, right?
Think that's it. I uh, I will certainly have a lot more to say after Saturday, uh, and after we say farewell to John Cena, and in ring competition. But until then, that feels like a good
Yeah, this
endpoint for
was
me, sir.
episode 9 of NEO Wrestling. We will probably be back pretty soon. Maybe we'll do like an Eric special after John Cena's retirement match, where Eric just gets to, talk about all the things John Cena for him, and I kind of just
It's a
sit there.
John Cena special, not an Eric special. John Cena special.
Yeah, and I just sit there in the background and
I'm not the
chime
one
in
that
every
won
now and then.
17 championships. He did.
See, I might just sit in the background and soak in all his fandom, and chime in every blue moon. I'm like, yeah, I saw that match and stuff like that. But thanks for popping in, man. Let us know what you guys have been thinking, because this is our video about what's been going on since right before WrestlePalooza. We ain't, like I said, we ain't touched everything, but we touched what's like really relevant going on right now. And we want to know what you guys are thinking. What's got you guys hyped? What do you guys think is gonna happen in the future? Let's talk in the comments. We'll see you next time.
Bianca Belair, get well soon. You say you're having surgery. SmackDown needs you. We all need you.
At the rate they're
Get
going,
well soon.
they're gonna throw her right back in the tag team division, because all the booming women are in the tag team division right now. So, but
I just would love to see her wrestle again. That's all.
just chill to the next episode.